Code of conduct.
Heavy is the head that wears the crown. I put in extra work that just can't be found. I took the sword out the stone, wasn't a thing. Look me in my eyes cause I'm a king. Look me in my eyes cause I'm a king. God made me punch in inaccurate numbers. My castle won't crumble. What I tackle will fumble. I've been a leader when they ain't see it, but now my feet is up. According to me, royalty didn't end with King Tut. Crown on my head, clouds is at my legs. Big says sky is the limit. I look down on the ledge. I push the bar like I'm opening a cell. Hands in my cookie jar, you won't come out with a single nail. I need all of mine. The weight of my shoulders won't fit on a scale. What's a king to a giant? Well, Goliath fell. Even if we playin' chess, dog, this king can't be checked. I make all my moves on the board, I invented my steps. I'm a king, the blood of a ruler. I feel like Mansa Musa. Make your squad disappear like landing by the Bermuda. Triangle, look at it from my angle. I'm a king, the closest thing to being one of God's angels. I'm a king. Heavy is the head that wears the crown. I put in extra work that just can't be found. I took the sword out the stone, wasn't a thing. Look me in my eyes cause I'm a king. Look me in my eyes cause I'm a king.
Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and good night. This is the Code of Conduct with the King podcast. I am your host, JSpenceTheKing. And listen, y'all, I'm excited as ever. I'm as excited as can be. I got a special guest joining me tonight. You know what? Last week I had a great time with Levi Wallace. He's no longer a Buffalo Bill, but he showed everybody why he's such a good dude, and you can still root for him. Tonight I got an equally special guest. And if y'all been listening to the Code of Conduct it's been around for like 2 years now. If y'all been listening, y'all would know that I've been a huge supporter of this dude. I kind of feel like, I'm going to talk to him about a lot of things. We're going to talk about it now, and actually he's waiting. So I'm going to just bring him in. I'm not going to waste no time. We got my man, Buffalo Bills running back, Zack Moss, joining us. What's up with it, man?
What's up, my man? How you doing?
Man, I'm good. How you doing?
I'm good, man. Can't complain. I'm good.
Yeah. I'm glad you could take the time to join us tonight. You got some business going on real quick, but that's all right. We're going to get to it, man. First, how's your offseason going?
Offseason's been good. You had some downtime, finally in a while. It's my first real offseason. Not going through any like injuries and things like that. So just been able to just spend time with my family and stuff, and just around like people who I love and stuff like that, and just, kick it and train at the same time. So it's been good.
Let me ask you this, man, because you just mentioned like this is your first like real off season. Last year, I feel like because you had the ankle or foot injury, and I feel like there was a lot of like questioning surrounding that. Was it like a broken foot, broken ankle? Like what happened to your lower leg?
Yeah. So my rookie year versus the Colts in the playoffs, first round of the playoffs, I tore my deltoid ligament in my ankle. So pretty much that ligament is what holds your ankle together, was keep it stable. So when I tore that, I had a real long off season. I stayed in Buffalo the whole entire time, so I didn't get any time off. And then just battling from that, trying to get back right off of that. Never dealt with anything like that before. And then it was just a long process with that, honestly, just trying to get back right off of that and have my confidence up and things like that. Just being able to move like I wanted to move, and I feel like I was able to move like I wanted to.
And so do you feel like and so when I ask you this, I'm not asking from a standpoint of like, like I'm not looking for you to offer excuses by any means, but like, do you feel like that hindered your movements during the season?
Yeah, definitely. And that was something that we all talked about and things like that. We kind of knew, it was brought to my attention that usually when you get this type of injury, right, when you put pretty much a rod and you put screws through your ankle, is exactly what I have in mind. It's gonna take a year at least for you to start feeling comfortable and moving around like you want to, and things like that. And it was just about getting the strength back in and getting them the flexibility back in it, and things like that. So it definitely played a part. But that's last year. So I'm just happy I put in the work this offseason, really focus on it. And it's been really doing really good this so far.
Yeah, no, I appreciate you clarifying that because, like, a lot of times when in this space, like we debate, like that's what we do. So a lot of times people is like, "Well, he didn't do it," and I'm like, "If you injured your, I don't know why I thought in my mind, I don't know why I thought it was like a broken foot or something like that. But I'm like, if you injure your foot and you are running back, you tell me how to, So I appreciate you clarifying that because a lot of times as fans, obviously we don't know exactly what goes on with you guys, and it's like it's a lot of questions and a lot of debating. But what it comes down to is, I look at it like now the team with the draft, we're building like a three-headed monster. That's how I'm looking at it because I think the three of you have something different to offer. And I don't want to exclude, Duke Johnson. I know we also, but I feel like there's a three-headed monster being built, and I'm looking forward to seeing it. But let's shift. I sent you some questions. I just wanted to start there at the top because you kind of mentioned like how this is your first off season and all that. So we'll get right into it. One of the first questions that I got for you, man, when everybody in professional sports or really in any profession, like I feel like there's a moment when people realize like this is what I want to do, or this is the thing that I'm here for. What moment was that for you? Like, was it a person? Was it a game that you played as a kid and like it was a specific game that you're like, nah, this is it? What moment was it that made you realize, no, I'm going, this is where I'm going?
I think for me it clicked maybe in high school, honestly. I played football growing up. I think I started playing around like age of 10. But more at that time, it was more of just like a hobby kind of thing. A lot of my friends were doing it. So I was like, cool, I'll do it. But I didn't take it seriously. And obviously being from, Miami, we take ball seriously down there. So I have friends who were doing, training and stuff that you see pros do now, when they were 10, 11 years old. And me, I wasn't doing any of that because I didn't know anything about that. So I was just go play ball, go back home, go to the park and go play basketball with my friends, my other friends and things like that. So, I mean, for me, though, it probably clicked, I would say probably like maybe my 11th grade year in high school was when I was like, okay, I think I'm pretty solid at what I'm doing. And that's the first year I started playing running back. Was a lot of people don't know. I didn't play running back full time until my senior year of high school.
That's crazy.
Yeah. So junior year, I played linebacker predominantly. And then I got sprinkled in at running back my junior year, just here and there. And it was cool. And I knew I wanted to do that more than play linebacker if I really wanted a shot. So my senior year, I finally transferred out, and then I got a shot to play running back full time. And that was my first time really actually ever playing for running back. And then I go to college and I'm trying to learn this position still and everything like that. And I had a lot of learning curves as a freshman that I had to learn at that level. But yeah, definitely my junior year is when it clicked, when I was like, okay, I really want to take this thing serious, right? From the working out, the training, all, the whole 9 yards and things like that. But I knew I had a shot at least to make it to the league probably my sophomore year of college.
That's wild to me. That so high school, pretty much the end of your high school career is when it clicked for you. And then like you fast forward a few years and you break your college's all-time rushing record. Yeah. So it's like you're saying you had this learning curve, and you're saying that like, I got to college on that level and there's some things I had to learn, but you were the best that your school has ever seen. So just to reflect on your college career, like, so what are some moments like when you just think back on college, like what's the first or the biggest moment in your head that pops out like, you know what, that was everything for me?
I think it's kind of like it's a little long, but it's not really long. My junior year, I ended up tearing my meniscus off the field type of thing. But essentially I had played with it for the whole season. So I tore it back in January of going into my junior year, but I didn't end up getting surgery on it until November of that year. So I played like 8 or 9 games. At that point, I already had about 1,000 yards, 10 touchdowns through 8 games. and I'm thinking, okay, I'm definitely gonna leave after this year. I'm hearing this, I'm hearing that, so I knew I was gonna go. But my mom had never seen me play a college game. Like she had never been in attendance, just because, the funds for one coming all the way from Miami to Utah, it's not easy just to book a flight to, $600-700. So she had never gotten a chance to see me play. And then our quarterback ended up fracturing his, he actually broke his collarbone one of the games, and everybody was pretty much looking towards to me after that, because me and him were the two leaders on offense. Everyone was looking towards me to lead us to the Pac-12 championship, which we had never won. And then my knee finally gives out on me after one of our practices. And it was the same week. It happened on a Wednesday, and she was getting in town on a Thursday. So she never saw me play up until then, right? And then fast forward senior year, she comes out for the game that ended up breaking the all-time rushing record. So her first time seeing me play was the first time. I mean, obviously when I did the record. So I think that was like, if I remember anything, that was like probably the biggest thing. Now that I look back on it, because I don't even really ever think about the records or things like that. So when people ask me now, I just really put it together. I'm like, okay, that's definitely probably the biggest thing that I always remember. My mom first time seeing me play in person in college was the day that I ended up breaking the record. That was there for like 30-40 years, something like that.
Yeah, no, that's crazy, man. Especially like it's just blowing my mind that you're saying like, I didn't really dig into this position until my senior year, and then so it's just wild to me, and then that moment had to be amazing for you, man. That's great. So now you're going into your third year, and most times, and I know you've heard it, I've heard it, everybody in the chat has heard it, like the third year is when people take their jump, and that's when the game slows down for them. They going, it slows down. So this is kind of like a double question. Like, so when you hear this is when the game slows down, or this is when they take that jump, what does that mean to you? Like, when you hear that, and then to follow that up, with that being the expectation, what can we expect from Zack Moss this year as a running back for the Buffalo Bills to take that third step forward? Like, what are your expectations for yourself?
To answer your first part, I think, when you say the game slows down, I think it's just understanding a lot more of the different scenarios that go into these games, because it's so hard to win in this league, right? And then I think it's just understanding your runs, understanding just the offense, understanding the guys around you. You just get more comfortable, right? I think your rookie year, you're trying to, prove this, prove that you get outside of who you are, and playing how you usually play. And then your second year, you're trying to really kind of set yourself up or catapult and things like that. So I think this year, and I can feel it already. I know just going back to college, usually that third year was when I put it all together after not playing much as a freshman, and sophomore year being a full-time starter, and then still going through some things in that year. And then third year, I put it all together, barring an injury, but you just understand the game more. It's hard to explain, but everything just really comes together for you because you've been through all these situations now, right? And as a person, as you continue to go through stuff and you continue to grow, you learn how to handle situations. So when you just factor that into football, it's the same things as well, essentially.
So with that being the case for you now, like what can we expect? And I know it has to happen. We have to actually play the games, but I mean, like for yourself, what expectations are you putting on yourself when it comes to that? Because it's the third year now, so you're supposed to understand it better, and you're supposed to hit these holes and all this stuff. So what are your expectations for yourself?
Just to be consistent. I mean, that's the only thing I think any player can really ask of themselves, right? Everything else will take care of himself. But just being consistent, trying to be a pro every single day when I come to work, from practice to how I handle what I'm doing off the field, the things I put in my body. And then just overall, just being healthy, playing the running back position is real tough to stay healthy. to try to put another season together of full health, and then just go out there and do what I know I can do, and just let it all rip out. So it's gonna be fun. I'm excited to finally get back out there, and I feel like now this is my best I've felt, from shape wise to health wise, to strength wise and things like that. And then finally having a full off season to really train, essentially for this season, and knowing what to expect and what the season brings and what type of things you have to do to stay at the top of your game. So it's definitely going to be a fun one.
I'm looking forward to it for a few. Obviously, everybody is projecting the Bills to be like this powerhouse team.
Yeah.
And, when you have a quarterback like Josh Allen and, the offense is as loaded as it is with all of you guys, you almost have that expectation. And then you have the defense last year, #1 defense in the league. And now they added Von Miller, they added Tim Settle. And, so I'm looking forward to it. But I think one of the biggest reasons why I'm looking forward to it is because I think even though you're the hunted this year, I feel like individually, like a lot of you guys still have things that you feel like you need to prove. And, and looking at you, just kind of looking at the way, like I said, the injury, and then looking at just the way things go, it's like, I think Zach gonna come out and try to punch boys in the mouth. That's just how I feel. Is that kind of how you wake up every day when you're going into training, and it's like, okay, I gotta prove to the world that I'm still I still make people make business decisions.
Yeah, I'm definitely attacking it different than I ever have. And I think it goes back to just finally having a real offseason, right? First rookie year, it was the COVID year. I mean, that whole thing is just it was different because we didn't have a camp, a mini camp, all those things. So it was so different just learning everything through Zoom. And I felt like I was able to, throughout all that, still kind of handle that pretty well, and help contribute to the team. And then last year with the injuries and, all this other stuff that was going on as well. But right now, I put all that behind me and just focus on what I can do this year, and being in the present. So definitely, want to go out there and make sure I remind everybody for sure.
One of the things that I always, for every position too, like I feel like fans and not just fans, but even around the league, I feel like a lot of times there's patience for quarterbacks, because typically when they're drafted and they're successful,
Yeah,
it's like, okay, got to give them a couple years and then we'll see what. I don't feel like other positions get in right now. Obviously, I'm talking to you, but like this guy Tremaine is my dude. Like I got a special love for him, and I feel like a lot of times, so like you, Tremaine, Levi was on the show last week. I feel like a lot of times people don't give guys that same type of respect when it comes to coming in the league, letting things slow down, just figuring things out. Is that something like, I guess, because it's almost in a way the same question, but is that something that you feel is like, do you get that pressure outside coming in where it's like, man, Josh got a couple years to kind of get off his thing, and y'all, do you kind of feel like that sometimes?
I mean, I'll be lying if I say I didn't. Obviously, do I let it affect me or, get to that type of extent? No. But that's how the game is. When you end up drafting a QB, they have to make that jump, and that after a while, 2-3 years is essentially what the league gives them and things like that. But for backs, usually this supposed to be the same, right? You run these runs before, you've seen this, you've seen that, all this type of stuff. So it's definitely different for a lot of other positions. And then, the QB is looked at totally different from any other position at the end of the day, because you always believe that you can just plug in another guy at a different position and that guy is going to be able to do it essentially. For quarterbacks, you kind of want to hopefully kind of groom them, and hopefully they turn out to be what you envisioned. And sometimes that happens right away. Sometimes it takes a while. But yeah, it's definitely different throughout the position groups for sure.
Yeah, I just always I yell about that when it comes to Tremaine, because like I said, Tremaine's my dude, and it's like not like we friends, but I mean like I root for him because to do what you guys do on the level that you do it on, I think a lot of
Yeah.
With respect to all the listeners, I promise I'm not saying this in a mean way, but I feel like we think because we played in high school and we were like first team all Western New York on, like I feel like it's like, whoa, Zack Moss or Tremaine Edmonds should intercept the ball way more than he does with his length. And it's like, do y'all understand that this dude is playing against Patrick Mahomes out there? Like you're running against Tariq Hill or you, like you running through the hole and you're meeting Van Noy on the other side of that hole. It's not like you're meeting Jay Spence. Like you probably run through me twice, like a hot knife through butter. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
I just feel like it's different. So, but whatever. My homegirl Tia Stell's in the comments, and she actually she asked. Obviously, we know you're in the weight room, but I wanted to ask you because I had a question similar to that. During the off season, training is basically up to you. Besides, like when you get together for the team activities, what's a day of training? So in the morning when you wake up, and it's all training and it's Moss mode, what does that day look like for you?
So I do all my training back home in Miami. So me and my guy, Torrin Seymour, we essentially sometimes it's 7 a.m. in the morning. Sometimes we get up and we get going. But 7 a.m. it could look like hop on treadmill for a few, warm up the legs. But my entire off season, when I do off season, is strictly lower body. I don't lift upper body until we come back right now, like in OTAs, and start training with the guys here. I don't do upper body. I just do strictly lower legs, lower body, and that's it.
Dude,
Yeah.
I don't know how y'all do it. Like I was watching one of the videos from y'all working out, and it's just like I'm gonna keep it honest. So I got to work out in general more, but I went to the draft, and I think on day one I walked like 9.5 miles. The second day I walked like 8.5, and I was so sore when I got back. And I'm just like, I don't know how these dudes just be in the gym doing squats, and I got to get like y'all. I do. Charles G in the comments said, "What's something that you're working on this offseason?" So like something specific that you want to work on and improve upon for this upcoming season.
I think I want to say probably just having more long runs, making more guys miss in open field. When we get in the open field, when we do, those are the times where we really want to exploit the defense and really knock off those big chunk runs. So I think that is the biggest thing that I want to add for sure.
I know guys are faster, like obviously from college to the NFL. Was it that eye popping for you? Like once you got on the field, was it like, oh, this is different?
I think, yeah, it's different. It's definitely different. I would say now the straight line speed, obviously, guys that are like skill players, they're gonna be a lot, faster than a guy like me or whatever. But I think just how fast the holes close, how fast and technically sound defensive linemen are. Everyone is just so more. All the fundamentals are so more just found in this league compared to college, right? Some guys may get out of their gaps in the league. Essentially, it's not happening like that. Guys are going to do what they're supposed to do, and they're going to do it very, very consistently. And that's why I say that's the biggest thing I want to add is being consistent, because the guys who play a long time, the guys who have success are able to be consistent. And I think that's just kind of how you're supposed to live life. Can you consistently be the same person every day? And I'm just trying to add that to what I do.
It's so funny every time I talk to somebody who's active on the team, or even like now Levi just left the team, but it almost honestly, man, it sounds like I'm talking to Coach McDermott every time I talk to y'all. Like you got to be consistent, be the best version of yourself. I love it though, because years ago, before you were drafted and before Josh and all these guys were here, I'm telling you, man, the communication between the team, it just wasn't like this. Like the way, you could talk to one guy and he's like, whatever is it like, and I just love, I love the camaraderie. I love the brotherhood that I see. I love the way the team is a family. I love all of that, man. Autumn in the comments wants to know, do you think the speed of holes closing with you recovering with your injury made it difficult to get to the second level last season?
I mean, I think it's all of it together, honestly. It could be bad reads, it could be somebody just making a really good play. Essentially, I mean, I was able to get to the second level, also last season, rookie season, but it just depends on, whatever it is, honestly.
I was excited when you came into the league. Like, and I said it a couple minutes ago when you were doing an interview, or I feel like it was like during draft night or something. You were like, "No, I make people make business decisions," and that's like, man, I'm telling. When I heard that, man, I just wanted to run through a wall. Like in my house, I was ready. So I'm looking forward to seeing the cheer. I know you can't stick around for the entire show, so I'm gonna, you know, queue up these last couple questions and let you get on out of here. But um, game day, what, getting into that groove, getting into that zone. What's in your headphones? What you playing?
Mostly just gospel music, essentially. From growing up, I always was in the church. My mom kept us in church every Sunday. So essentially when we play on Sundays, that's just kind of my routine automatically. So from the time I leave the team hotel around 7 a.m., it's straight gospel music all the way through, from headphones when we warming up till it's time to go back in at halftime and play some more gospel music and things like that. So, you always gotta remember why you're able to do this. And, I'm a believer in God. So that's kind of my foundation and things like that. And that's just kind of, the things that I do.
But you say gospel. Levi said gospel last week too, but I didn't follow up, and I hate the fact that I didn't follow up. You say gospel. Who though? Like, who's your guy? Or
I like old Kirk Franklin. Early 2000s Kirk Franklin.
Yeah. That's early to you, man?
Well, for me, I'm born in 97. That's early.
Oh man. Okay, I got you. That just made me. You're right. You just got drafted. That made me feel. Oh, my bad.
Kirk, Tamala Man, Donnie McClurkin. It's a Fred Hammond.
Yeah, Fred Hammond and Commission and them boys. Okay, I'm with you.
Yeah, Georgia Mass Choir. So
you listen to any gospel hip hop?
I don't. I think the only person I don't even know is if he would really be considered hip hop. I would think he would be Ty Tribbett.
Yeah, he wasn't, but I think now he's kind of transitioning to that hip hop a little bit.
I've tried to listen to Lecrae.
Crazy.
I try to keep it old school gospel music, like the songs that I grew up listening to, going to church with putting the CD in the car and things like that my mom would get them from people on the streets and stuff like that. So that's who I listen to. I just listen to a lot of old school.
All right. Well, I always just ask that just to kind of see what guys listen to get into their mood and get in their zone. It's interesting now though. The last two guests that I've had both said gospel music, and I can tell people in the comments are like, gospel, why? Not in a bad way, but like, wow, like it was unexpected, because you feel like you're going into war. I know it's a game, but every week you're going to run somebody over, so it's like you're going into war. But lastly, before you get on out of here, I noticed that you did some charity work to help out the Lackawanna Life Center. Are you still working with them, or do you have anything going on right now that you want to highlight and kind of shed some light on?
Yeah, that's still an ongoing process. But right now I'm not really doing anything right now. I kind of took a break from a lot of stuff. I just finally got my own podcast, started back up, and things like that. So hopefully I can, do a lot more things. Also doing some stuff that I started last season with G-Bond Health out here in inner city Buffalo and things like that. So we got some good things going, trying to, give back as much as we possibly can. If it's time, money or whatever it may be, just being in the community, letting people see our faces and things like that. And, I know Levi was big into a lot of that stuff. And J Poe as well. So I've done a lot of things with them as well. So it's good though.
Speaking of Levi, are you going to his classic?
No, because I'm not good at golf.
Okay, that's all good. I was just wondering because I'll be there, obviously. So I was looking to see if you were going to be out for it. But
yeah, if I was better, I'll definitely pull up. But I'll be at Micah High's softball charity game. So
all right, one of these years, because I'm gonna be at Levi's, and then I'm not gonna make it to Micah. But one of these years, I'm gonna have to get out there and show y'all what I do. I'm gonna get in shape. And I'm gonna show you I can compete with y'all boys or something. No, but seriously, the thing I do want to throw out there at some point, I'm gonna be reaching out. Buffalo Rumblings, we got this Twitch channel going, and from what I hear, you're pretty much you nice on some things. I'm gonna be hitting you to challenge you on that publicly, so you can get smacked in front of Bill's Mafia. I'm just throwing that out there.
If it's Madden or 2K, I handle it.
It's
Anything
Madden.
else
That's
outside of
Madden where I'm going.
okay, Madden, I handle it for sure. That's no problem.
All right, so we going, ladies and gentlemen, you heard it here first. Zack Moss is gonna get smacked on Madden by JSpenceTheKing this season is going down. But no, man, thank you for taking the time to join me tonight. Everybody loved it, man. Go ahead and do your thing. Anything you want to say before you get out of here?
Man, no, just appreciate you, having me on. Definitely appreciate it, and it's gonna be a fun year. So I hope you guys are ready for it.
My man Zack Moss said, "Buckle up, ladies and gentlemen." Zack Moss, running back of the Buffalo Bills. Thanks, man. I appreciate you.
All right, my man. Take care.
All right. So I'm not gonna it's not gonna be a long show. Obviously, Zack had to roll. So I did want to just talk about a couple of things that I've been kind of paying attention to. So this schedule leak, I'm gonna just tell y'all right now. I need y'all to chill. Don't be buying these plane tickets already. Wait till Thursday. Because a lot of things that I'm seeing, I can't say where I get my sources and what's going on, but a couple of things that I'm seeing, I can tell you right now is not true. So I need y'all to just relax. We got 48 hours. So just take some time and put your money to the side, figure it out. Then we gonna get there. Second thing I want to talk about is like I just mentioned with Zack, I did just want to make a couple announcements before I get out of here as well. If you are in Arizona, if you're in Tucson, if you're in Phoenix, if you're in Tempe, Glendale, wherever you're at, it's not too far. Come and join us for the Levi Wallace Classic next, or actually I'm saying next, like is this weekend, is May 14th. Tea time, I believe, is 8:30 a.m. or 8 a.m. Get there. Let's party. I will put the link in the comments. I'll put it on Twitter again as well. And hey, I don't know why they're showing me love, but JSpenceTheKing is the official media host. So I'm going to be there. I'm going to be bringing y'all all the content. You're going to see your boy Jordan Poyer. You're going to see Levi Wallace. You're going to see whoever else shows up. I'm going to make sure y'all get it. And another thing I wanted to talk about lastly before I get out of here, my man Steros for the girls and your boy JSpenceTheKing is coming back, not this weekend, but next weekend we'll be back. And K-Gun, Kristen will be with us again. I ain't heard back from Angelina yet, but we gonna figure that out as well. I want everybody to know we about to get back to it. It's about to go down. So look, ladies and gentlemen, I appreciate y'all. Y'all know how I do it over here. It's your boy JSpenceTheKing. Y'all take care of each other. Y'all love each other and live in peace. And as always, stay positive, test negative, go Bills.
Code of conduct.